And now straight over to Karen, done a whistle stop tour. She too has to dash off, which is a shame, but not before she has given us 15 minutes of her best stuff, telling us how she got to where she is now and what her magic is, basically. Thank you, Karen. Over to you.
Hello, lovelies. It's great to be here. I'm thrilled to be here, and I am so sorry I've got a dash off in literally 16 minutes. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on the time, and I'll probably be chatting hell for leather. But I've got my little list of things I want to get through from Jill that she wants me to cover. And so the first thing I want to tell you about is what I do and where I am and where I'm from and who I serve and why I do all of those things. So I live in the UK. I live in Essex. And I'm an Essex girl. I'm born and bred in Brentwood, literally a stone's throw from where I actually live now. I've been married for 100 years. I'm a mum of five. I'm a grandmother to five. And I didn't become a business owner until about, I want to say about 17 years ago. And prior to that, I was just very much focused on bringing up my family. And my first business was actually, I was in finance, I was a bookkeeper. But going backwards in time to when I was 11 years old, I became very, very interested in personal development. And that personal development journey took me through many, many tunnels and over many hills and under many bridges, and it supported me right through a difficult time in school, difficult early relationships, becoming a mum at a very young age, and then a mum again and again and again and again, and being married and navigating all the different levels of my relationships. So that personal development journey supported me all the way through that. And then I started my business when my youngest was about 3 years old, and I became a bookkeeper. And I left school with no qualifications and had no interest in maths at all. But I was always interested in money, mainly because we didn't have any. Yet I could see other parts of my family, my extended family, were very wealthy. And it's important that I mention that because what I do now is I work with business owners mainly, not all of them. I do work with some corporate women now, but I my favorite people are business owners. And what I teach them is alignment. Now, my definition of alignment is you do you. And it kind of circles back quite nicely to what Jane talked about when she was saying that in order to be able to serve others, to be able to understand and hear and have compassion for others, you need to know yourself. The way I do my life is that I focus on my alignment and I teach my clients how to know and understand who they really are so that they can support others. So, most of my clients do tend to be business owners who are in service, so coaches, consultants mainly. Some sort of more sort of in the healing industry. But I've also worked with, I think I've worked with pretty much everybody in over the years. I've been doing the earliest version of what I do now is over 10 years ago now. So in that time, I've worked with all those kinds of people, but I have also worked with accountants and solicitors, and people in the wellness industry that run gyms or whatever. So I've done the whole thing because essentially alignment transcends everything. And my people find me when, for whatever reason, They can't seem to make the money that they want to make through their business without burning themselves out, or without being on a hamster wheel where they've got no time to actually enjoy the money that they're making. They can't spend time with their families. All of those things come up for my clients. And so, what I do is I teach them alignment through the three commodities of alignment, which are money in and of itself, time, which is what I love to call your biggest point of leverage when it comes to universal law, and you. And the commodity of you revolves around your value, your self-worth, and most importantly, how you're broadcasting that to the universe. So I kind of speak probably in a very woo kind of way when I'm in a position where I've got to cram everything in a really short space of time. It sounds very woo, but actually what I do is I bring all of that fifth energy, high vibrational woo talk, and I ground it in at a very practical level and teach people frameworks that pull out the essence of who they are and what alignment looks like for them and who they're designed to be and what that looks like in the world now and what they're being called to do by the universe and by their soul. So, so yeah, I mean, I've got a very woo background as well. Once I started my bookkeeping business, I got very interested in universal law and healing modalities, and I spent a long time there, actually trying to fix myself. I genuinely believed that there was something about me that must be completely broken because it didn't seem to matter what I was doing and what I had in my life. It felt like there was a void inside of me that I couldn't fill. And I judged myself about that for a long time. And I went through a good 2 or 3 years of learning different kinds of healing modalities to heal myself, to heal myself, to heal myself. And then I got involved in the Akashic records, which was an absolute game changer for me. But you can't get more woo really than being in the Akashic records. But that was the earliest version of the business that I have now, because I was already working in my bookkeeping business. And I just found that while I was drawn to work with business owners through the Akashic record work I was doing, that their accounts would literally light up like a Christmas tree for me. And I could see and know exactly why they weren't making any money. And it wasn't about the money ever. It was always about something else. And over the years, I let go of all of the woo when it comes to the Akashic records, apart from the stuff that I carry as my own internal dictionary to kind of support my clients. But I teach the energetic language of money, and I talk about, instead of mindset and limiting beliefs and restrictions and blocks, I banish all of that from my vocabulary and hopefully the vocabulary of my clients as well, because the way that I teach alignment is that money, and in fact anything you desire, so you can switch the word money out of that sentence and put in anything you desire, is actually a very happy byproduct of alignment. So all we need to figure out is, what does alignment look like for you so that you can do your alignment in the world? And where are you making choices that are energetically in opposition to your alignment, so that we can take those out of the equation and you get to course correct? And then the whole time this is happening, you then get to vibrate at a higher frequency. And the frequency is the language of the universe. So I don't buy into the idea that your thoughts and feelings create things. it can be quite controversial and it can bite me on the butt on occasion. But being somebody that spent many, many years in working on her mindset and staying in a high vibration and still wasn't getting what she wanted, I knew that there was something else. I knew that there was something that was missing from all the people that were talking about manifesting and the law of attraction. And I knew that there was something missing. And what I've being the custodian of the work that I bring to the world, what I now understand and what I teach is that actually your thoughts and your feelings are your navigation system. They are absolutely for you as the human and you alone. And that the universe and your soul are the bigger part of you that you are in a constant collaboration with, a three-way collaboration with every minute of every single day of your life. But your thoughts and feelings are your interpretation of what alignment looks like for you. So the universe law of attraction in this instance isn't actually reacting to how you feel and you having happy thoughts at all. It bypasses all of that, and the universe reads the frequency underneath what you're doing. So it's all about understanding that alignment happens when a human being takes an action, and the frequency underneath that action is what the universe reacts and responds to and says yes and brings you more of the frequency that you are vibrating at when you are doing said action. So it's vitally important that taking time as the most powerful commodity of alignment that it is, if you make sure that you are always vibrating at a high frequency with all the things that you do in the world, the universe will say yes and bring you more ways and more abundance so that you can do more of that. And for my clients, what that looks like is making sure that they are adding value to the lives of other people through their gifts, which is them in alignment at this moment in their journey, at the highest frequency they can be, that is sustainable. And when they're doing that, they're vibrating money. And then the universe says yes and brings them more money and more people that they can serve that will bring them money so that they can step even further into the next level of their gifts and their alignment so that they can serve even more people in even more ways. And that all comes from being in alignment. So it's about understanding that your thoughts and feelings are for you. So I get to teach my clients how to navigate their limiting beliefs and their patterns and their ancestral, all the ancestral stuff they've brought over. I get to teach them how to navigate all of that through making new energetically aligned new choices, which means they shift from a vibration that is there to a vibration that is there, where everything they desire is actually available to them. And then what happens is all the limiting beliefs that they've been buying into and all of the mindset stuff that they think that they need to master just falls away, because there's nothing more powerful for a human being than to be able to see and navigate their own creational process and how they are the powerful creator in their lives, and how by doing what is right and aligned for them and aligned to their values and how they're designed to be in the world, that will always bring abundance. It can't not bring abundance. It's impossible if you're vibrating at that frequency. Okay, so that's what I do, and that's kind of how I do it in a nutshell. And I'm now supposed to, I believe I'm now supposed to share, I don't know, a couple of mic drop things that will hopefully ground it for you. I really want to ground the concept of how I teach the energetic language of money so that you really get it. So the way that I always do that, if somebody asks me, what's the most powerful thing that somebody can take from what you're saying right now as a game changer? And it's this concept, and then take the action behind it. So anywhere you're ignoring your money, you need to stop and you need to deal with it, particularly if you're a business owner. Why? Because money vibrates at a frequency of responsibility and power. Before you spend it, it vibrates at responsibility and power. Okay. Now, if you're a business owner, you're designed to add value to the lives of other people through your gifts in exchange for money. Therefore, if you're not on top of your money, which is creational energy, if you're not on top of your money, by definition, as a business owner, sounds harsh, but it's irresponsible. It's not a judgment. It's just how the universe will react. Okay, so it's all about how the universe reacts. The universe doesn't judge and it doesn't compartmentalize, it reacts. It says yes to every single thing you do. You are always broadcasting, no matter what you're doing, you are always broadcasting whether or not you're available to receive money. And that's with every choice you make, even if that choice has got nothing to do with your business and nothing to do with money. You are always broadcasting whether or not you're available to receive money. So energetically, what's happening when you're not dealing with your money in some way, and there's loads of ways that you might not be dealing with it with your money. Everybody is not dealing with their money somewhere at most times. Right now, this is what I teach, and I can think of 2 places that I'm ignoring my money, that I need to tidy up. Why? Because we ignore what we don't want in our lives. So if we're ignoring our money, what we're saying is, I don't want to deal with that. And we vibrate that. That's what we're broadcasting to the universe. We are broadcasting, I don't want to deal with my money. That's why I'm ignoring it. And the universe says, hell yeah, if you don't want to deal with your money, that's fine. There'll be no money for you to deal with. So the first thing that I say to any of my clients, if they're feeling stuck or they want to unlock some abundance somewhere and get some money flowing again, or more money flowing to them, is to identify all the places you're ignoring your money and start dealing with it and ticking it off. And usually, very, very quickly, usually within a 48 hours, you will start to see something move. And you'll get a new client, or someone will pay you that had been procrastinating on paying you. Like, fill in the blank. There are so many ways that the universe is able to say yes and bring you more of what you desire, just by making that one small choice of alignment, by taking responsibility for your money and broadcasting responsibility and no longer ignoring your money. Okay, so if anybody wants to go off and do something like that and then let me know what happens afterwards, I always love those stories. I do have to run. My client is now messaging me, so I have to go. But I'm so looking forward to seeing you all, I think next month, where I will talk way more about this and take you through a masterclass so you can really move that needle. And I'd love to speak to anybody that would like to know a bit more or get a clearer understanding of what it is I'm doing in the world, because I do feel truly blessed. And I'm so happy I met Jill, and she invited me in to kind of create some new levels of consciousness with you guys, because at the end of the day, that's what the universe wants. So
perfect. Thank you so much, Karen.
it's been
Sorry,
a
we
real
got to go, but
so
appreciate that.
sorry, I've got to cut and run, but it's been a pleasure. And just shoot me a DM if anyone wants to chat. I'm here.
Lovely.
Bye.
Thank you so
Take
much,
care.
Karen. Take care.
Bye. Love, love, love. Bye.
I'm looking forward to that masterclass, I tell you.